I guess we all know the stereotypes that come to mind when we talk about Parisian style. The berets, the striped shirts, and the people wearing scarves, and the people dressed in black with their little dog on the leash. And I would just like to inform you that basically they're all true. I'm Elle, and I've been living in Paris for about 6 months now as an exchange student studying art history. And it's been so fun observing the people here and, of course, analyzing what they're wearing during different seasons. So far, I've seen the winter and the spring, but not really the summer yet in its full bloom with all its waves and everything. But I'm looking forward to seeing the autumn and fall season as well. I just find so fascinating the concepts of stylishness and elegance and effortlessness, and I'm studying those phenomena in order to find the ways in which we can become the most stylish versions of ourselves and live life with elegance. But overall, I just have to say that people are better dressed here than, for example, in Helsinki, where I was born. But I'm also aware that it really depends on where you live in Paris. But as I live in the 6th arrondissement, it's just true that the percentage of people who have made an effort to look stylish is much higher than, for example, what I've seen in Finland. So here are my 5 style lessons that I've learned and observed while living here. And in the end, I'll give you a little bonus. I'll give you a list of some recommendations for Parisian brands that I see constantly here around me. Firstly, it's true that Parisians do wear a lot of black. Hence why I wanted to wear this shirt for this video. And in general, I think people wear quite a lot of dark clothes. It somehow just belongs in the city. I don't know why. It's something even unconscious. Because when I first arrived here, when I lived in Finland, I basically never wore any black. But it was so funny because after just a couple of weeks of being here, I started to look for the black clothes in my closet, which were not many, but then I started to use them. But I'm interested to see if this holds true, if Parisians really wear as much black also during the hottest summer days, or is it more of a winter thing? But yeah, somehow it's just the vibe of the city to wear dark clothes and be in black. And it is quite elegant. It makes you look stylish. As long as it's like a deliberate choice that you wear black and you're not hiding behind the black, because black is a color that can also swallow you. And that's why I've worn a lot of colors, because I'm a small person and I want to exude the energy that I have also through my clothes, that I'm not wearing black. But then again, it is a very chic color. So I'm a bit torn right now with this. So I'm still using a lot of colors, but I've incorporated a bit more black into my wardrobe than ever before. Secondly, I think Parisians wear quite few logos in their outfits. And this is interesting because I've had quite many conversations already here with different people of different ages, and they all say that no, that I don't want to wear logos. I don't want to promote any kind of brand. I want simple clothes that are made well. And this is a notion that, from my experience, isn't as usual in Finland, for example. In Finland, I haven't met that many people who would, first of all, talk about clothes and fashion in general, but also people who would specifically make the difference between clothes that have logos and clothes that don't have logos, and that they would express their wish to not wear logos. And I think that maybe the point is that even if you would have a logo somewhere, it should be discreet. And I agree with these Parisians that I've met who've said this, because clothes that don't, or outfits where you don't have logos showing, it looks really neat. And also it adds this sort of air of mystery, because then people just cannot know what those clothes that you have on have cost. Because if you see the brand, you can instantly determine what the price range is on that brand, usually. So I think that's maybe also a sort of a Parisian skill, that sometimes you find really good quality and nice clothes that have no logos in supermarkets like Monoprix or something, and then you mix it with something really expensive. And I do like this type of thinking. It's a very stylish and safe choice always to go with no logos. But then again, I'm a bit torn because some logos are really cool and I like the graphic design of some logos. So I own some pieces that have logos, but then again, you have to still choose where and when you wear those types of clothing. and if the brand really is something that you identify with. So this is kind of a hard topic, but I'd like to open the discussion in the comments. Tell me, what do you think about having logos in your outfits? The third point is that less is more in accessorizing and makeup. So judging by all the people that I've met so far here in Paris, Parisians do wear quite little makeup. Some people have a natural look basically all the time, some people just have very minimal makeup, and they look good. But I must say that people do look good without makeup also because they have quite dark features. Not all of them, but a much higher percentage of people have darker features and dark eyebrows and eyelashes and everything, so that helps. Whereas, for example, in Finland, there are so many more blondes and light-haired people that sometimes you look a bit naked without makeup. But that's all very much a cultural conception that we have. So it changes according to the time we live in. But I've always loved the idea of minimal makeup. Firstly, because I've never been that interested in makeup. I have still so much to learn on that because simply I just haven't had the interest to actually research stuff on it. And secondly, personally, I just can't wear that much makeup because I have such a small face that if you stuff too much makeup on it, I instantly look ridiculous. But I've seen this principle also in terms of accessorizing. So I find that people wear quite little accessories actually here. Just a bit less than in Finland. It depends on the person, but maybe this idea derives consciously or unconsciously from the famous quote by Coco Chanel that says, so this is in English now, but she says that before you leave the house, look in the mirror and remove one accessory. And this is the first time in my life that I've actually started to do this. And it is a really interesting experiment to do. I've, for example, now gotten used to the idea that I don't have earrings every day. Of course, it's fine to wear earrings all the time, but just as a thought experiment, I've really liked the idea of always just removing something before going out. And it makes it a bit simpler, and I find that it's also a means to make your personality shine a bit more. You can let your personality do the speaking and not your accessories. But it's just an interesting idea that once you have little accessories, you're not hiding behind these ornaments that you've put on yourself. Even though if the jewelry and accessories would be really discreet and elegant and small, but just the act of taking out something that you've already put on makes you trust your outfit a bit more. That, oh, actually, the things that I already have on, they're enough. But yeah, I don't really know how to explain this any better, but maybe I encourage you to try it, and then you'll know what it feels like. The fourth point is that it's always good to be presentable. Well, I've already done this in Finland, but here I've really noticed the importance of this because here when you go out and you walk in the city space, you can never be sure if you, for example, meet a celebrity or something, or you meet someone important. And this really is like each arrondissement, maybe in English, I don't know, is like its own village. And you often run into the same people. And even for that fact, and just in general, for respect of the city space and the grand buildings and everything, it's nice to be well dressed every day. And to just have the feeling that you are ready to meet anyone on the street. And it's coming handy because I have actually seen and met a couple of celebrities while being here. It's really true. Celebrities walk around here all the time and the real Parisians don't really care. But I just want to accentuate that I'm talking here about just being presentable, that you're confident in what you're wearing or how you're looking that day, but not really being on point every single day. Because that's, we can do it. We can be top notch every day if you want to, but it requires some more dedication. But it's still already good to have some level every day. And then you feel good while walking in Paris. And of course, it just elevates your mundane things in life if you make the effort of looking and feeling nice. And as a side note, I just want to say that it's actually really nice to live for a change in a place where you can wear nice shoes for most of the time. Because here, yes, we have rain quite often, but still most of the time you can wear actually nice shoes. Whereas in Finland, I find it a bit more difficult because then you really have to be prepared for all different kinds of weathers. Like the gazillion types of different snow and rain. So there really isn't that many days in a year where you can wear some nice suede loafers, for example. But here you have much more opportunities, let alone if you live a bit more to the south. And the fifth point is to wear clothes that are in good condition. And this is just an overall vibe that I've gotten here. It's pretty hard to explain. But I noticed that at least when I looked at my wardrobe when I first got here, well, first of all, I started to look at the black clothes that I have. But then secondly, I started to notice that, oh, actually, this isn't in such good condition. Why am I still keeping this here? I should throw it out. And it was weird because I've always thought this way, that of course you should wear your good quality stuff all the time. But in Finland, I just didn't have the encouragement to wear my most good quality stuff all the time. But here, as I see so much more stylish people on the street, it encourages me also to actually make an effort and like, yeah, it's allowed to be chic here. It's normal to make an effort. People don't question it at all. Overall, if we think about visual stuff and the arts and everything, it's just plain evident that of course we need to have those things in our lives and our culture. That's just one thing that I've really liked about living here, that there's an overall vibe of appreciation for the visual things and the beautiful things in life, and that it's just normal to be interested in these things. And it's just a huge part of French culture since many centuries already. So there's a difference between Finland, I think. But of course, it is a subject that's important also in Finland. I'm not saying that. But I've noticed that it's just a bit more important here. So now let's close this off with a few recommendations for Parisian brands if you want to emulate some of that Parisian style. And I just have to start with the brand Inès de la Fressange that I really like. Her brand really focuses on the Parisian essentials, nice colors combined with just the basic navy blue, white, red accents, and yeah, you should check it out. Then we have Cézanne, which has a lot of hype right now, I think. APC Paris, I mean. Mage, Claudie Pierlot, Sœur, Zadig & Voltaire, The Couples, so the Couples, Tara Jarmon, maybe in English, I don't know. Vanessa Bruno, Sessoun, and Maison 123, Maison 123. Then actually I would also recommend And Other Stories. It's not a French brand, I think it's even Swedish, part of the H&M and COS group, I suppose. But they have an atelier here in Paris, and yeah, and they usually make quite nice Parisian style clothing. But now if you want to start building your own Parisian style wardrobe, I suggest you check this next video where I talk about my take on the capsule wardrobe, the concept of it, and it also reflects the kind of outfits that I've seen here in Paris and what kind of closet I'm trying to build currently here that fits my lifestyle here. Thanks so much for watching and have a stylish week, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bisous!